CONCORD, NC. Darius Grala did what any proud father would do after seeing his son do something amazing and absolutely ridiculous. With a large grin plastered across his face, he stood on Charlotte Motor Speedway's pit road and captured the image of Kaz Grala helping push his No. 61 Ford toward the garage. In his first Xfinity race, for Fury Race Cars, the race car building company his father formed in 2016 and that was making its first NASCAR start, Kaz Grala placed 10th. That 10th feels like a win to us. No joke, Darius Grala told NBC Sports. It's not like we didn't dream of having a top 10 when we loaded up to head to the racetrack. But I got to tell you, that was a tall order and to deliver on it is nothing short of a dream. The dream started with a text message from Darius Grala to crew chief Shane Wilson on May 9, formally beginning the process of putting the No. 61 team together after Kaz Grala learned he would be without his ride at JGL Racing after 10 starts. More, JGL Racing owner diagnosed with liver failure. 17 days later, the 19-year-old rookie earned his best result since placing 4th in the season opener at Daytona. It's his second top 10 through 11 races. The team, which includes most of the crew who worked on Kaz Grala's No. 24 car at JGL Racing through the first 10 races, showed up at Charlotte on Thursday without a backup car. Without any owner points to guarantee a starting spot, Kaz Grala was cautious in practice and Saturday's qualifying session, which was threatened by rain. But the track was dry when the time came to qualify and the No. 61 wound up 16th on the board. Caution was forgotten with the green flag. I was aggressive as much as I could be, Kaz Grala told media at his car afterward. Really going for it, 'cause I knew these guys deserved a good run. I didn't want to be the reason they didn't get it. I was driving my guts out there. I think I asked for 6 different water bottles during that race. I was literally leaving nothing on the table. That's the way you gotta race in the Xfinity series. Everybody's too freaking good to not go all out every single lap. I'm really proud of everybody. I can't thank everyone enough. This is a dream come true. He was 11th when a 1-hour rain delay occurred with 28 laps to go. On the restart, he lost a few spots before positioning himself for a top 10 in overtime. Each additional lap was an additional opportunity to pick up another position, Darius Grala said. On that last run, though, we gained a couple and lost a couple and pretty much ended up where we were. But that's okay. Top 10 is literally the best we could have possibly hoped for. Now the Xfinity team that didn't exist nearly 3 weeks ago gets another chance to overachieve. The series heads to Pocono Raceway for a race that will see the restrictor plate package that was used last year at Indianapolis. I don't know how to feel, Kaz Grala told NBC Sports. Pocono was one of my favorite racetracks last year. I love it, but we've got this weird aero package next week, which I've never driven with. My crew chief and most of my crew only has experience with it once, Indy last year. I don't think they know much of what to expect and I know I definitely don't. No expectations for us, we're going to be learning every lap in practice. Hopefully we can have a run to follow this one up. This one's going to be tough to follow. That's a good problem to have. CONCORD, NC. Austin Dillon, the defending winner of the Coca-Cola 600, fell out of contention early in Sunday's running of the race. On lap 38, Dylan lost his right rear tire and impacted the wall. After getting his No. 3 Chevrolet worked on pit road, Dylan returned to the race but was quickly back on pit road for more work on his right rear. After an extended stop, he drove to the garage, something obstructing the right rear tire, RCR, at Racing, May 27, 2018 Concord, NC. Kevin Harvick is having a moment. Harvick has won 6 times this season, including last week's All-Star race. In tonight's Coca-Cola 600, Harvick to win 3 consecutive points races for the second time this season. The Stewart-Haas Racing driver, who starts last night after failing qualifying inspection 3 times, describes the impact of his hot streak on his life away from the track as very strange. "I think when you look at everything that's going on, every week feels like a normal week," Harvick said Thursday at Charlotte Motor Speedway. "I understand that things are going exceptionally well here at the racetrack and every racetrack that we've been to so far, but there's that way of getting grounded when you're at home because, honestly, my kids could care less about what happens here. My son, Keelan, is more excited that I show up to his baseball game and stand on first base and tell him whether to run to second or not, and those type of things. He's more concerned about me dropping him off in the carpool line." Last Saturday, Harvick took part in a 1-hour morning practice session for the All-Star race. He then booked it to his son's baseball game before driving back to the track for the drivers' meeting and multiple appearances. After a 1-hour nap, he watched the Monster Open and took part in the All-Star race, where he won 3 of 4 stages. "If your ass wouldn't be tired by now, I don't know who you are, but I'm beat," Harvick said in his winner's press conference. On Thursday, Harvick said his busy schedule allows him to hide in my hole during the week. "I went to 5 meetings this week and participated in a lot of conversations about this sport," Harvick. "I participated in a lot of conversations about the team and did interviews, but all of that happens in between when Keelan goes to school. It's all scheduled around his baseball games. Those are all things that are first priorities, so that, to me, helps keep us in its position of number 2, it helps keep me from realizing everything that's actually happening." The 2014 Cup champion compared his mental compartmentalization to what he experienced in 2001, when he took the place of Earnhardt at Richard Childress Racing after his death on the last lap of the Daytona 500. Harvick did double duty and raced full-time in both Cup and the Xfinity Series. After his Atlanta win earlier this season, Harvick called that period in his life very confusing. "It's different," Harvick said Thursday. "But it's kind of the same, because it kind of guards you from being able to really pay attention to all the things that are happening and going on and the actual attention and things that are being given to the situation." The longest race on the NASCAR schedule has arrived with tonight's Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kevin Harvick will try to win a 3rd consecutive points race for the second time this year. Meanwhile, the top 11 starters all seek their first win in the 600-mile event. Here's all the information for tonight's race. All times are Eastern. Start. The command to start engines will be given at 6:10 p.m. The green flag is scheduled to wave at 6:18 p.m. Distance. The race is scheduled for 400 laps, 600 miles, around the 1.5-mile track. Stages. Stage 1 ends on lap 100. Stage 2 ends on lap 200. Stage 3 ends on lap 300. Pre-race schedule. Garage opens at 12:30 p.m. Driver, crew chief meeting is at 4 p.m. Driver introductions are at 5:25 p.m. National Anthem. United States Marine Corps Captain Sky Martin will perform the anthem at 6:03 p.m. TV, radio. Fox will broadcast the race beginning at 6 p.m. Coverage begins at 5:30 p.m. Performance Racing Network's radio broadcast begins at 5 p.m. and also can be heard at goprin.com. SiriusXM NASCAR Radio will have PRN's broadcast. Forecast Wonderground.com calls cloudy skies, a high of 82 degrees and no chance of rain at the start of the race. Last time, Austin Dillon claimed his first career Cup win last year in a fuel mileage win over Kyle Busch. Martin Truex Jr. won the Fall Charlotte race over Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick. Starting lineup. Click here for the starting lineup. Brad Keselowski won the Alsco 300 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, becoming the first repeat Xfinity winner of the season. Keselowski won from the pole, beating Cole Custer, Christopher Bell, Ty Dillon and Elliott Sadler. Click here for results. Points. Elliott Sadler leaves Charlotte with a 38-point lead over Christopher Bell. Sadler is the only driver to finish in the top 10 all 11 races this season. The top 5 is completed by Tyler Reddick -55, Daniel Hemrick -57, and Cole Custer -62. Click here for the standings.